the weakness that drowns Gotham. I intend to break you. Then give it your best shot.
Directed by Jeff Lemaister and written by Jeremy Adams, Batman Knightfall Part 1 is damn near a shot-for-shot animated remake of this 1993 comic, and it is one of the best things that DC Studios could have came out with, because this is just brutal, right to the core, nitty gritty, rated R, so they can truly show you just how vicious and brutal and amazing of a villain that Bane is. So adapted from the iconic 1993 comic event, written by Doug Moench, Chuck Dixon, Dennis O'Neil, and Alan Grant, Batman Knightfall Part 1 really dives into the physical and, more importantly, mental exhaustion and strain that Batman Bruce Wayne goes under. So the basic synopsis of the comic and the movie itself is Bane has been forming this hatred and anger towards Thomas Wayne and the Wayne family in general, because Thomas Wayne was the epitome of like power in Gotham. So Bane is all about weakness leaves the body, and you have to be strong in order to survive, and in order to live, it is not given, it is earned. Basically, Bane infiltrates Gotham, creates a plan, and goes to Arkham Asylum and releases all of the inmates inside Arkham Asylum, which includes a lot of people in Batman's rogue gallery like Firefly, Riddler, the Mad Hatter, so many more. So because of this, Batman is just out of sorts. He's like, wait, whoa, everybody from Arkham Asylum has been let loose? This is crazy. No, absolutely not. I'm going to recapture every single one of them. While that is great, and while that does show a lot of prowess from Batman as well, you also need to realize that you as a human need rest. You need to eat, you need to sleep, you need to really calculate things instead of just jumping ahead and reacting first and then thinking later, because that is when things go wrong, and that's where you make the biggest mistakes. And that's what this comic and this animated movie showed us. So unfortunately, Batman played right into Bane's hands and his plan. Batman got wore down. His physical strain got so intense that sometimes he could barely move. He could barely dodge and battle the way he normally does in the comic and in the animated movie. But what's worse is Batman's mental strain got so worn down that he actually got subjected to a lot of different hits and a lot of different instances where he could have easily taken on whoever was fighting him. He could have easily gotten out of any situation, but because his mental tenacity was not there as it normally is, that is what really got him. Anson Mount voices Batman / Bruce Wayne, and he does a great job. At first, I thought it was the same guy who did it in the New 52 movies. I believe it's Jason O'Mara. My roommate and I are rewatching them now. Just because he hasn't seen a lot of them, and he's having a great time with them, and I love showing them to him. Yeah, at first I thought it might have been him, just at a slight instance, but Anson Mount, man, great job voicing Batman. I gotta give my hat off to you and all the voiceover actors in this movie. Michael Mando, my man, voiced Bane, and damn did he do a good job. Just the intimidation factor from the animation and the vocal intimidation that this man added to Bane in this movie really made me feel like I was reading the comic itself and envisioning, like when I read that comic and watch the movie now, I envision Michael Mando's voice as Bane in that comic, and it is terrifying. Pablo Schreiber voiced Jean-Paul Valley, or Azrael, and man, the way how they started this film with Azrael was beautiful. I'm telling you, if you have not read that comic, please go back, look it up online, do whatever you need to do, and read that comic. It is beautiful, and it truly shows you that not every hero is just perfect and it can do anything, and Batman can't do anything, and Batman actually does get defeated. Even though people say that he is the ultimate hero and he can do no wrong, and even with enough prep time, this and that, yeah, like with enough prep time, he could probably do a lot. But this shows you the true nature of how you can break somebody, and Bane quite literally breaks Batman. All of the vocal casting choices in this movie were great, almost top tier, but one of the best ones was David Dastmalchian as the Riddler. Like, my God, they really went balls to the wall with this film, and it paid off, because this is one of the best DC animated films. And I know I say a lot of good things about DC animation, but there's a reason for it, is because DC is amazing with their animation. They rarely do miss with their animated movies. And even if they do miss, it's not even a true miss. It's more just like, oh, okay, that was cool. Like Suicide Squad Hell to Pay. That was a beautiful movie. Is it my favorite of the New 52 continuity? No, not really. It's still a great film, a phenomenal film, but then you have all these other ones like The Death and Return of Superman, or The Death of Superman and The Reign of the Supermen, and Justice League Dark. Justice League Dark is beautiful. My God. But one of the best things about that continuity is that they do a lot of callbacks, a lot of different callbacks, and a lot of tying things together from the first movie, Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, to Suicide Squad Hell to Pay with Eobard Thawne. It is beautiful. So just like that, this movie, Batman Knightfall, is, oh my gosh, it is so beautifully done. And the animation was, dare I say it, top tier. Yeah, it was.
How can I live knowing there's something inside of me that can do such harm?
Your hero, Commissioner? Stop! He's losing control.
I'm fine.
So throughout the film, we slowly but surely see Batman, as I said, be physically exhausted to where he's getting these cuts and he's getting all of these injuries. And you're like, bro, take a minute, please, for the love of God and everything that is holy, and for our sanity, please take a break. It's just like the comic. This man will not stop. But that's the thing about Batman. Like, even if he is mentally struggling and physically struggling, his mind will not allow him to stop, because that's who he is. That is the man that he is. That is the man he's become. He feels like it is his responsibility and his alone to take care of every single thing in Gotham. Even if he has Robin, Alfred, Batgirl, Batwoman, whoever, he still feels like it is his responsibility. And unfortunately at this point, Red Hood isn't involved, so Jason Todd is still dead, and Dick Grayson already is gone. Nightwing is doing his own thing. We have Tim Drake as Robin, which I was surprised that he didn't really come in the New 52 movies, but he did come in Young Justice, so that's great, even though they're kind of different. I loved him in this as well, and I love seeing the fear on his face in certain scenes when things were going on, and I like the relationship between him and Jean-Paul Valley. Batman, it's just he cannot allow others to take on what he feels like he alone should be doing, and that's one of the greatest things about him, but that's also one of his biggest flaws. And that's what that comic shows, and that's what this movie showed, because he fell right into Bane's hands and right into his plan, and he truly did break Batman, both literally and figuratively, but more specifically literally, because this is where Batman's back gets broken. And not only does Bane break Batman's back, he takes him and he showcases him through the city to show Gotham, I mean business. I am not a joke. This man is a joke, and he is broken. Your city is broken, and your city will be taken over by me and my minions. And there is absolutely, positively, without a doubt, nothing that you can do to stop me. That is terrifying. This guy who has defended people, saved people, gotten rid of so much crime, was just broken in half, basically, and showcased through the city like a humiliation ritual. It's very significant, especially in the comic when it happened. It was, I couldn't believe it. I was reading the panels and I'm like, oh my God, he really did just break Batman's back. And not only did he do that, he's publicly shaming and humiliating him. This is insane. How could the writers do this? My guy, like, what is happening here? Like, Doug, Chuck, Alan, Dennis, what is happening, bro? Why are you doing this to us? But all in all, like I said, this movie was almost a shot for shot for that comic. And honestly, this is the start of something beautiful because of the way how they're adapting the comics, but also very sad and very, very gut-wrenching. And following this, we've got Night Quest, which will be part 2, which will be Azrael taking up the mantle as Batman for the time being while Batman is recovering and dealing with everything he's dealing with. And I cannot wait for that. I mean, just seeing how they adapted the comic to part 1, I know part 2 and part 3 are going to be absolutely phenomenal, without a doubt, without question. Don't tell me nothing, because it's gonna be great. Thank you guys for joining me in this review slash analysis of Batman Knightfall Part 1, both the comic and the animated movie that just released. And starting now, I'm gonna be doing something really different on the channel. This channel was originally made for like mainly comic books and dealing with true blue nerdy stuff and talking about comics from DC, Marvel, and animes and mangas, and that's kind of what I'm going to be getting more towards. And yes, I do love movies, and doing movie reviews is awesome and it's fun, but my true thing that I love is talking about comic book events, talking about comic book characters, doing character analysis. So I will be doing a lot more of that going forward. So please, all those who support, please continue to support, and I thank you so much for any and everything that you guys do. You know the drill. Hit that like button and that subscribe button and the bell next to it. Thanks again for watching, guys. Until the next one.